Latino Shade, I'm so glad that the 2016 aesthetic is coming back, or at least people are saying that's what they want, because
anyway, I need y'all to let 2016 go, okay? It's gone. It's not coming back.
2026 needs to be exactly like 2016, bro.
Must I remind you, 2016 was regarded as one of the worst years ever.
2026 better be as good as 2016, if not even better.
Attention, 2026 may be your year, but 2016 is about to make her comeback.
Why is everyone using the 2016 filter on TikTok? It's 2026. I don't get it.
2026 is the new 2016.
What does that mean?
You don't know?
Got a new camera for Christmas and I'm loving it! Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Elia Vanessa Santiago Aguilar, or you can call me Evsa. So is 2026 really the new 2016? Is it just another trend, or is it a movement? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss the possible meaning, some of the nostalgic trends, and what we can do as a society to make this trend a movement. Before we continue, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel so we can keep growing our community. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. "2026 as the new 2016 has come back swinging. If you've been chronically online like I have, you have seen, aside from politics, everyone counting down from 2025 to 2016. The question that everyone's been asking, however, is why? In my personal opinion, I believe people are wanting to go back to simpler times. This was the year well before COVID-19 hit, and we didn't have to worry about social distancing or how bad the political climate was. We partied like rock stars every single weekend if we really wanted to. A fantasy that has been living in their heads for God knows how long. This fantasy is different for everyone, however, especially to the ones I've asked out of curiosity. I've asked my sisters, being from either later Gen Z or Gen Alpha, about what they think of this trend. And each of them giving me the same response of, well, we never got to live that awesome time. My fellow friends who lived with me through 2016 as earlier Gen Z or even millennials, or we'll call it Zillennial for that reason, say they want to go back to high school or times that were a lot less darker than what they are right now. And if you know, you know. So I agree wholeheartedly. I wish we had the lighter days of the world than how we are now. But would I want to take a time machine and go back 10 years ago to relive everything that happened to me in 2016? I don't really think so. So before I get into my 2016 life, I do want to give a trigger warning just because I know that some of the topics I'm about to bring up or talk about just a little bit can affect a lot of people in different ways. If you don't want to hear any of this, I'm going to put a timestamp right here on the screen to where you can go ahead and skip over it, but also still have a little bit of insight of what you may have missed. To start, I was 17 in 2016, and I didn't live the typical rose-colored glasses era. I was into alternative bands, crazy colored hair, and I was a wannabe scene kid. I mean, clearly it was never an era, Mom. This was also the final year before I was going to be legally an adult. So yes, I fell under the same almost an adult fever that every teenager goes through when they're at my age. But with this mindset, I made a bunch of mistakes that were absolutely horrible to start off my young adulthood. I unfortunately lost contact with my biological father at this time, and was it really worth all of the back and forth? No, not really. Was it his fault? I think so. Was it mine? Absolutely. We both had something to learn from each other because we both made our mistakes, and it was completely and utterly silly, to put it lightly. In this grief of losing that side of the family, I thought I had found all of my happiness in a boyfriend. And that ended up being one of the worst relationships I had ever been in. No shade. No, absolutely shade, because that was one of the worst toxic relationships I had ever been, and I wish I could have seen it sooner. But like I said, I was 17, thinking I knew everything, and this was going to be another step into adulthood. Yeah, if I had to give advice to her, leave him. You'll find something better. Because of all these problems, being the overwhelming pain, depression, abuse, I almost gave up. But thank God, I was able to get out of that mindset and ask for help. I wouldn't be here sharing these memories with my friends, my family, my husband, with you, if I didn't reach out for help. With all that trauma that I had endured in 2016, I wouldn't want to return to repeat the same mistakes. I would most definitely change some key moments, but I've basically already started. I didn't take it to be 2016 as the new 2026 for me to realize that some of the stuff that I did 10 years ago, I easily could have changed. And I easily can get on top of while I'm here. So what would I change? Well, personally, I would continue to strengthen my relationship with my family, with my father, and thrive happily in the very healthy and loving relationship that I am in now. Shout out to my amazing man, because I know you're watching. Love you. Personal matters aside, I'd use this redo as a chance to make a change. I would bring back the older tech, embrace the actual vintage multimedia instead of buying something that, oh, looks vintage. That's how they get you. Now sure, it would be a harder task considering that a lot of the devices, like an iPod, like the older generations of the iPhone, are made to last only a certain amount of time. But that's not saying it's impossible. You can easily find DVD players, CD players, old devices at thrift shops, secondhands, everything. Why? Because people think, oh, well, they're old, I don't need it. But at the same time, it will give you the same gratification that, no, I own this. Oh, you want to watch that movie? I have it on DVD. I own it. Don't read too much into that. But also think about it. If you limited all of your music listening and all of your movie watching and everything to just being on these specific devices, then you limit your time on screen or being chronically online. Because trust and believe, I know that not everyone wants to be chronically online, especially because, as I said before, you can't get away from politics. Trust and believe, I've tried. Don't get me wrong, it is really good to know what is going on with this world, that way you're not putting yourself in any danger. However, watching the news or a broadcast about someone being, or about how the crusty Cheeto in office is saying, oh, well, that's no, saying nothing but gibberish. Believe me, it gets on my nerves, and I don't want to have that whole, I'm irritated, I'm upset, the whole day. I want to be able to enjoy my media. I want to be able to step back and actually indulge in me, indulge in my family, indulge in stuff that I want to see, that I love. So say you're trying to listen to music like on an old iPod instead of on Spotify, which I believe they're still pushing out ICE recruitment ads if you don't have premium. All you're really going to do is scroll through to either find a song or a playlist, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about anything else. If you start collecting DVDs and you have your own DVD player, then you don't have to worry about if, oh, this streaming service has this movie, but this one doesn't, or, oh, I can't find it anywhere on Netflix or Prime or Paramount or wherever. And it's a funny story because my husband and I, we were watching the latest of the Knives Out trilogy. Would you even call it a trilogy? I'm not sure. But it's a simple fact that Knives Out was on Prime. But the second movie, Glass Onion, was on Netflix. So why go back and forth from different when you can own it and you can watch it anytime? Aside from all of these devices, I would really love to bring back the Tumblr aesthetic of taking these aesthetically pleasing photos, videos, mostly photos, and adding the pretty filters to it, or the low res filters, because I see we have a lot of filters going on. We're still in 2026 and we have more advancement, so it's a lot easier to take those aesthetically pleasing photos. But it's best to do it while you're having adventures. Go on your own adventures. You don't necessarily have to be on the road to do so. If anything, you can simply walk to the park. I don't have many parks in my hometown, but at the same time, it's not that hard to take your phone, take a picture of the sky when it has pretty colors. It's not that hard to find growing flowers and take a picture of it because it's just really pretty and it's so aesthetically pleasing. I can guarantee you someone is going to like that post. I can guarantee someone is going to like your style and what you see is unique and beautiful. Enjoy nature. I encourage you to log off. Don't worry about what's going on with the world right now. Well, do, but keep it at a moderation. Because trust me, it's better than going on all of these social medias and seeing nothing but AI slop that never happened. We will never escape it. But limiting your intake and what you see, and then also calling for regulation would be huge, not just for your mental state, but the environment as well. The biggest reason that all of these CEOs have so much money when they're using AI is because you are all taking it as fun. You are all taking it as, oh, it's just a joke. Believe me, I've been there too. I'm not trying to call all of you out. I'm calling myself out on this too. But why make something like that when you can make it yourself? Take those moments. Take those adventures. I encourage you to log off. Because if you don't, you're going to miss the beauty of what this world can actually bring to you. I feel as a society, we should bring back the humor and fun of 2016. Start with keeping the memes that we loved, like Pepe the Frog, or, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but crazy song! Of course, I knew a lot of the mainstream memes and trends of 2016, but if you missed it, I am an emo kid, and I was an emo kid growing up. So I was into the dark, alternative, creepy stuff, and even the emo phase. But nonetheless, post stuff that you love and be uniquely you. And encourage others to be themselves, cause hashtag YOLO! That was so cringe, I'm so sorry. But that's the thing. This is not me trying to be a poser or performative. This is me just being me. Explore hidden gems and support the small businesses because if anything, they need us more than ever. Don't spend on big purchases with these companies that just want money, money, money. It's nothing but greed. Be the change that you want to be. Don't be afraid to be you. And if we really want this 2026 to be the new 2016, well, it's all up to us. So we need to make that year happen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to like, comment your thoughts down below, share with your friends and family, and subscribe for more. I'll be checking back in with this probably about the halfway point of the year just to see if we actually made this trend more of a movement. But either way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!